Yo team, what is up? We are starting this vlog with something quite strange. If you didn't see this on my Instagram story, here's my mum's house keys. Now remember, my mum is fucking cool. She's a little bit quirky though. I used to listen to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, and Nirvana's live album when I was like 2. So remember, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, and I'm sure Nirvana have a song called Rape Me when you're 2. Is a little bit graphic, but anyway, here's my mum's house keys. That is my 2 mates, not me, my 2 mates. Now, to be fair, she did say she needed a house key and this was in the drawer, but still, I feel like the decision to even do that is a bit bonkers. So, yeah, my 2 mates, right on our house keys. Sorry to put that up there, Bruni, because your tan isn't very good. But what the fuck's that about? Not even me. Didn't even bat an eyelid when I asked. She just went, they were in the drawer, need house keys. Mad. This week on the vlog, I am back to training. So I've not trained in 8 days. I'm waiting to do a pull session. Let's see how that is. Excuse the shite music. So I'm doing RDL for the first time since February, and it was an RDL that I tore my lat on. So let's see how that goes. To be fair, warm-ups felt okay. Just with it being a new movement, well not new, but I've not done it in so long, keeping the tension on is quite hard compared with I've been deadlifting, but you obviously stop. So let's see how this goes. If you don't hear from me for 5 years, I'll probably hurt myself again. So as I said, first time back doing an RDL, well, first time training 8 days after my deload, and first time doing an RDL in 7 months, and guess what? Fucking shit. My other lat popped. Now, you've got to remember with things like this, I have not had an injury training in 8 years, but obviously I am training with an injury at the moment, and she has told me not to do hinge movements. So if I'm doing them, it's my own fault. Remember, you can train around injuries. It's my own fault. Tried to do a rep, fucked it. Huge pop in my right side, so my left side to the lat is fucked. Big pop in my right side. My glute is like painful. My right leg's painful. So fingers crossed, it's just a little bit of a niggle, but I think programming, I'm just gonna have to go to very simple, like basic movements and just stay away from hip hinges, stay away from other stuff, because otherwise I'm not going to get through the year. So obviously at the start of the vlog, it was Saturday, I think, yeah, Saturday that I recorded it, where I'd obviously injured myself or hurt myself. It looks like it is not my lat, and it is my intercostal, which is probably a plus point. It's still relatively sore. So for example, when I'm doing, like if I'm lying down and I try and sit up, or if I'm lying on my front, I pretty much can't do that. And then also, for example, if I try and lean to the side or I cough, etc., it's relatively sore. So there's obviously a bit of an injury there. I'm not, by the way, I'm not in a tree, I'm just getting in my car. There's obviously a bit of an injury there, but I think it's far better, excuse my finger, I think it's far better than I first thought. So I trained today, I done push. Obviously push would be the one session where I'm not going to be in any hinge based movements, etc. So a little bit easier. It wasn't at all painful apart from on an incline Smith press. I'm going to try and do some legs tomorrow. I'll most likely just stick to ham curl, leg extension, adductors, and I'll try out a few movements, but I'll be going at a lighter load. So we should be all good, and hopefully by the time it gets to the end of the week, I am fucking sweet. And it was just a little niggle. Now, I'm ready to go get a coffee, come back, do some work, and then I am recording a podcast tonight. Well, I'm not recording it, I am on a podcast tonight, speaking about building muscle in females, which is obviously one of my specialties, and it is a fun topic, so it'll be a real good one. I will put the link in my link tree on my Instagram, and it'll be up within the next couple of weeks. So anyway, peace out. So I have got no idea what's going on with the quality of this, but fuck it. It's the only thing it could do. And I also keep forgetting the fact that the whole point in the vlog is to update you on how each part of the phase is going, how I'm looking, etc. So as usual, photos going on the screen now. I should start doing it at the start. I keep saying that, I keep forgetting. Weight was actually dim this week, but that's because I was on a socially distanced stag do, and then obviously I would presume just not eating the same amount. Calories are pretty high at the moment, so weight was down a little bit, but that's also not really something that matters, because we look at the bigger picture and the data across like the entire month, 5 week, 6 week period, not just what happens week to week. So okay, the lighting's better this side, there we go. So yeah, weight was down slightly. No changes made from the big man. Basically calories, training cycles changed, as I mentioned it the other day, but calories are the same, gear cycles the same, and cardio and steps are the same, so all good on that side. And something I wanted to touch on briefly, by the way, I'm just walking down random streets as I go to the shop to pick up some juice. How exciting. Something I wanted to touch on briefly was, I am possibly the most impatient man on earth. Like Vaughn will tell you, I want everything now. I'm quite driven by that, which is quite funny. The only time I'm patient is when I can see a client progressing and I know what's next. That's when they're impatient. But yeah, normally on a gaining phase, I kind of get a bit distracted, and I don't really like them, because obviously we know, sorry about the wind, we know you're sort of increasing body fat, etc. That can be a little bit not fun. I'm now on the Perth Road where there's loads of people, but fuck it, I'll keep videoing anyway. Yeah, that could be a little bit not fun, but this time round I'm actually so chilled about it, and obviously that's because I've got someone doing all the thinking for me, and I'm not really having to overly bother. But I'm just like, I'm feeling in a good place with composition. I'm not stressed about when I'm next dieting. I'm still holding probably half an ab, at least in a photo, half an ab. And I think that's just something that comes with time. I've been doing this a long time, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. And the more you do it, the better you look and the better you feel. So normally when I start getting into the gaining phase, all I'm thinking about is, I cannot wait till I start dieting again and I get shredded. Whereas this time, all I'm thinking about is, I can't wait to just keep pushing this and see how strong I can get, because you'll see a photo I put up on Sunday of how I look at this weight now and how I looked at it before, and the difference is 10 times better, just from my logbook being so much higher, my strength being higher, muscle being higher. Anyway, peace out, because now it's kind of weird. I'm in between loads of people and I'm ready to go in the shop. Just to finish this week's vlog off, by the way, I don't know why my vlog's always in the car, because I barely ever fucking drive, which is weird. I've also got some mad like curtains going on, so just ignore that. I've had the cap on all day. Yeah, just to finish off, I asked a few clients like anything they would want me to cover, and I've got a lot of clients on gaining phases at the moment, so I think the two questions people were asking were obviously gaining phases and being worried about piling on body fat and looking shit, and how to sort of focus on nutrition and getting more food in when your appetite's not that high. So the first thing would be, if you are eating in a surplus but you're not overeating, you're not going to look shit, because the idea is that you slowly increase it and you're building muscle. Yes, you'll increase body fat, but you're not pushing it up so far that you're going to ruin your physique. Also, the longer or the more you do it, so the more you go up in weight, come back down, more go up in weight, and the more muscle you have, the better you will look each time you go into a gaining phase. So it can be scary for people, it's not. In terms of the nutrition, so people keep asking me how I'm managing to get my food in. My food's not that high at the moment. It's like 3,790 calories on training day and non-training day. That's not that high for me because I've got a really big appetite, so I don't actually really struggle with that. But for people who do struggle, I would say try and keep the majority of your food whole foods, clean foods. So you should still be eating your fruit and veg, you should still be eating lean protein sources. It's not an excuse just to eat shit, but try and keep the majority of your diet very similar to when you actually are in a deficit, just more quantities of food. And then around that workout window, post-workout, try and push in foods that are easier digesting and dense calories. So that might be things like bagels, muffins, cereals, fast-acting carbs that you can digest well, that are easier to eat and are more dense in calories. So what I mean by that is, for example, potatoes are great, but they're not that dense in calories. So you just need to make sure that the majority of your food is clean sources, whole foods, but outside of that, still hitting the calories you're aiming for. Utilize carb sources that are easier to take in. Now, you will see a lot of people eating foods and you're like, how can they get away with that? They either probably, one, don't really care if their body fat goes a little bit too high because they know they can diet back down, or they are on very high calories. So for me personally, I eat oats when I diet, or cream of rice. Cream of rice is shit, by the way, I don't like it, but when I'm on a gaining phase, I don't find them as good to eat. I prefer cereal because I find it easier to eat, easier to digest. So there's my tips for it. If anyone has got any other questions, just fire away, DM me. If anyone is interested in coaching, obviously I know some gyms are shut at the moment, some aren't, but we should, fingers crossed, as we go into December, into January, start seeing everything just being open.